Hello and happy Sunday. Yes, this is a candy corn koozie, courtesy of Casey. Okay, hello and happy Sunday. This is Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And today, and we have something finishing up in the air fryer right as we start the chat. But today is Sunday, September the 11th. I wish I could say I hope you all celebrated September the 11th. Not really anything to celebrate, just to, just hopefully you all had some kind of, good memorial service today or something to remember it by. But today is Sunday, September the 11th. I'm Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. We've got two things going on over in the air fryer for the second half of tonight's chat. So hello, welcome everybody. Hello, Patty, good to see you. Hello, John from home base. Glad you are up and you are with us. Hello, Mary Ann from Pennsylvania. So if you're brand new, please give us a shout out and let us know, because we would love to say hello to you. Everyone here is so friendly and so welcoming, and we would love to welcome you. Hello, Linda from Rock Island, Illinois. I think we had several new people last week, and I hope you all got a chance to say hello to them. Hello, Carol Lou. And I got to tell you, hello, Linda from Rock Island, Illinois, and hello, Elaine. I have to tell you, it smells so good in here that I'm not sure that I can wait until we're done to try this, but I'll have to, because I have to cook it first. And hello, Sandy, and hello, Sandra from Demons Ferry. Good to see you. Hello, Sherry. And you all can tell ragweed season is here, and I forgot to start taking my Zyrtec early, as always. Hello, Mary from Pittsburgh. So I'm going to need a volunteer who is going to remind me about mid-August every year to go ahead and start taking that. Hello, Lynn. Good to see you. To go ahead and start taking that, because apparently I lack the ability to do that, and it is blooming out in the yard at Casey Kitchen Center. Actually, our florist included some in a lovely bouquet this week. It took me like 3 or 4 days of not being able to breathe to realize what was in the bouquet that they had brought us this week. Yeah. Oh, and the other one's ready. So we got 2 things coming out in the second half that are coming out of the air fryer right now. But anyway, so sorry for the little bit of crummy. I have started the Zyrtec again, so we should be good to go. Hello, Kim. But today is Sunday, September the 11th. I'm Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. A little bit of news before we get going tonight. First thing, if you're new, let us know. Hello, Kathy. Good to see you. How are the kitty cats? If you're new, please let us know. We would love to welcome you. If you are watching this later on YouTube, it's just youtube.com. Search If You Have an Egg. Go ahead and subscribe, comment, because I would love to hear from you. And hello, let's see. Oh, Deanna's sneaking in. Hello, Lisa from Arkansas. But a little bit of news for this week, or for this month, because this is September now. We're officially into September now. The first thing is, if you live in an area of the country that has ragweed, I'm just kidding, that's not really news. Anyway, go ahead and start taking your medicine. So I should have also. Oh, wait, Lynn says she's highly allergic to stargazer lilies. I don't even know stargazer lilies. Now I'm going to have to look those up. I know what lilies are, but really they must have a lot of pollen or something. And hello, Barbara from Jersey. Good to see you. Anyway, I'm just saying, that's not really news. Just, watch your schedule. But somebody volunteered to let me know next year at midway through August to start taking the Zyrtec. Hello, Trish from California. Hello. Oh, Kathy says the kitty cats are doing good. Yep. And Finn misses the Zooms. I know. I don't know what to tell you. And, oh my gosh, Deanna was outside watering with a mask on. I didn't even think about that. The 1 year that this didn't happen actually was the year that COVID was so bad and we were all wearing masks, and that's probably why I probably didn't get any pollen in my nose. Anyway, news for this month. Sorry I went radio silent for a few days. So last week we had a great chat. We talked a lot about bulking it up. Everybody was doing their homework. It was fantastic. And then I kind of went quiet for a couple of days. And hello, Sherry from Cape Coral, Florida. The first reason is, as I told you all last week, we did go ahead and keep the girls, and we took them. So we have 2 granddaughters, and we took them to North Carolina just for the day, and then kept them. But that's not the reason I went radio silent. So the next day, aloha, Kathy. The next day, Tuesday morning, I would have been here if we had not had the girls. And I was alerted by the alarm company that someone was trying to break in here at Casey Kitchen Center. Before y'all freak out, just calm down. But somebody was trying to break in, and no one was here. And so I watched the video, and I was like, send the police now. Hello, Evie. Send the police now. So this guy was the laziest burglar I've ever seen. It was like 5:30 in the morning. Was he just getting up? I mean, burglars are like that's supposed to happen like between midnight and 3 a.m. You know, I don't know. This guy's lazy. He didn't start until 5:30. Anyway, it was like the worst attempt to get in. And hello, Sandra from Naperville, Illinois. Anyway, messed up the door, trashed the door, freaked all of us out. So alarm company had to be called. Hello, Barbara from the beautiful Sierra Nevadas. Police had to be called. Police had to be called again. Police had to be called a third time. Just saying. Police reports had to be filed. Doors had to be replaced. Blah, 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 blah. He didn't actually get in. No one was harmed. Nothing was actually harmed except for the poor door. But anyway, so I disappeared for a couple of days because we had all of that drama to take care of. But rest assured, because of that, even though no one was here, we have new doors that are sturdier. They are locked. And the alarm, we have now changed our alarm so that I can set it to stay while I'm here. So all of you mama hens out there who are always like, oh my gosh, go home, whatever. I'm good. Okay. And we have a property watch for 2 weeks. Okay. So anyway, so that's why I disappeared on y'all for a couple of days. And that was a lot of drama to take care of. The second bit of news is don't forget that this coming Sunday, so Sunday, September the 18th, is the September recipe thing that I told you all about. So that is that's being hosted by one of the girls that is in the If You Have an Egg group, and I'm sure she will be chatting it up. But I don't even know how many we're up to now, but I want to say it's probably 12 or 15 participants that are going to be in that. And thank you, Mary. I was like 12 or 15 participants, and we are all going to upload our soup recipe videos to YouTube next Sunday, and I believe it's at 9 a.m. She'll be sharing some more information, and I'll be piggybacking on the information that she's sharing. But for that, I'll be doing an unstuffed cabbage roll soup. I've seen a tortilla soup. I've seen a taco soup, which I love me some taco soup. Can't wait to see that one. I saw somebody is doing she's doing a shepherd's pie soup. I'm thinking John's gonna want that. Anyway, there's like 12 to 15 of them, and that's next Sunday. That's the 18th. Those will be, and we're all gonna upload them at the same time. So I will have it linked on mine. So I will send all the links. Joan, who is in our If You Have an Egg Facebook group, she will be linking that, so she'll have a link to that. And oh gosh, Lynn's meeting is starting there again on the 20th. Yay! That's news. That is news. But I'll be posting it. Joan will be posting it. But yeah, it should be fun. So there are at 9 a.m. on Sunday. I don't know if I forgot to ask her if it was 9 a.m. Eastern. I need to find that out because we're all supposed to upload them at the same time. Anyway, I thought that would be super, super fun. So don't forget, and I'm super pumped. Hello, Marlene from Florida. That will be next Sunday. And then we will talk about that next Sunday night. So videos will be posted. All of the soup videos will be posted Sunday morning, and then Sunday night. That is what we will be talking about in the second half of our chat next Sunday night. Okay, and then the last bit of news for this week in September is I have finally talked about super cubes enough, and we will be talking about super cubes more tonight and next week. But I have finally talked about super cubes enough that I am part of their affiliate program now. So I know most of you all know this. We do not ask for any money for this. I probably spend a couple of $100s a week in money doing this every week, and I'm not asking for any money, not to mention the time that we spend on this. And so anywhere where I find an opportunity for a product that I love to join their affiliate program so that we can get a little, a tiny bit of reimbursement back, then I will do that rather than ask you all to send any money. On the Super Cubes, we will post on the Super Cubes affiliate program. If you have wanted to try Super Cubes, I will post, or Jessica will post this in the chat notes, and then I will post this later in our group and probably, here when we get done. But if you've been wanting to try these, if you would pretty please use that link, then I'll get a teeny tiny bit of money if you, to help reimburse for all of this. If you decide to buy something. And I love the product. Obviously, I use it all the time. I actually had to take something out of it so that we could use it tonight because I'm constantly have something in my super cubes. And anyway, okay, so that is the news for this week in September. And Sandra's already got 2 of them. Do you love them? Sandra, what do you do with them? Oh yeah, and Deanna says they're great for soup. They are, and they're great for so many more things. And we're going to do something a little bit different with them tonight. Okay, so, and Gina bought some when they first came out, and she loves them. Yeah, so y'all tell us what you do with your super cubes also. Okay, so let's get right to it. who set their bottom in a chair last week, or who watched and went to a Zoom workshop last week. So give me some thumbs ups. I did not get to attend an in-person workshop last week because I was dealing with the not bright burglar attemptee in the door. So I did not get to attend, but Linda had her bottom in a green chair again. So yeah, so thumbs ups if you went to an in-person workshop and sat your little bottom in a chair, or if you attended a Zoom workshop. And then let's see some hearts. If you had, Kathy's thumbs ups, and Mary did both. And hearts, and Mary Ann did too. Hearts if you attended here with us live last week, or if you watched later on demand, and Lynn was both. Yeah, let's see lots of hearts going up. There were quite a few of you here, and I think quite a few of you watched it later on demand. And again, if you missed this, if you missed the live chat, you can always, I'll post them immediately here on Facebook as soon as we're done. And then you can always go over to YouTube. That's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg, and you can watch all of them. We're on chat number 288, and it is called Simplify Your Journey, Tame Your To-Do List. So you need to put on your to-do list, go watch 287 other chats. Yeah, it's very important. You should mark that a high priority. Okay, here are your Bravo stickers for all of your hard work and for attending. Awesome, very good. So this is chat number 288, and we are going to be spending the entire month of September talking about ways to simplify this journey. We're all busy, except for you retired people who keep telling me, I've got loads of time on my hands. Okay, the rest of us are really busy. Y'all are moms, y'all are grandmothers, you're husbands, husbands and wives, you've got jobs. You've got lots of things to do, so we're all busy. So this whole month, we're going to be talking about ways to make this easier, to simplify some of the things that we do so that we can get it all done and we're not stressed out and overwhelmed by it. So that's the theme for this entire month. Last week in chat number 287, we were still talking about our journey, and we were talking about non-scale victories. I asked you to stop. So last week, yeah, Deanna says, hashtag retired life. So, and hello, Take. So last week Trish is the one, Trish is the oddball out. So Trish is the one retired person who's busier than when she was working. Okay, and Sherry, so they're the odd ones out. I hear people all the time that are like, yeah, no, I just get up when I want to. Oh no, y'all can't come install my countertops till like 10 or 11 because, I don't roll out of bed till like 9:30. But anyway, so last week we were talking about non-scale victories, and I asked you to go find your nearest appliance and ask that appliance, so how did my week go? So blender, how do you think my week went? Do you think I did a good job? Is there anything I could have done better? What do you think about myself? Did I feel good about myself? How's that going? So you wouldn't do that. You would not go to another appliance, any other appliance, and ask it how your week went. But we do that with the scale all the time. So if you get oh my gosh, and Deanna says nothing happens after the price is right. Yeah, you're the one, Deanna. But we do that with the scale all the time. We go wherever you keep your scale. We do this all the time. We go to the scale and we're like, all right, tell me how I did. We're not looking at our trackers. We're not looking at anything else. We're just asking the scale, oh great and mighty scale, how did I do this week? Okay, so we spent a lot of time last week talking about telling the scale that it has no power over us. It really doesn't. It's taking a snapshot. It's taking a little snapshot of one moment in time. It has no power over us. It does not decide how we did last week or who we are, for this week going forward. I told you last week, my fearless leader, Gwen, her leader used to tell them that if you fix what you do, your weight will take care of itself, and that is so true. And then we also talked about celebrating good times, celebrate good times. Come on, which sounds even worse with my nose. Hello, Vicki from St. Louis, and hello, Sylvia. You are just in time. We're getting ready to talk about our homework for last week, which was hashtag my non-scale journey, and I really hope that you all will keep posting these because they were awesome, and they are things that some people don't think of as a victory. So, some people don't, they're like, oh, I didn't lose any weight this week. And yet they came off of some of their medication, or they could bend over and tie their shoes without gasping for breath. Those are also victories. So here's how y'all did with your homework. So the homework last week was hashtag my non-scale journey. Please keep posting those. Oh no, Sylvia, I had COVID all week. That's not what I asked you to do, Sylvia. That was not your homework. Your homework for last week was not to get COVID, okay? But this is how you all did. So Mary Ann's non-scale victory this past week was planning ahead during her kitchen remodel since she wouldn't have access to all of her kitchen tools. Since I happen to do kitchen remodels for a living, that's a big deal. So she pre-planned, prepped, she used her tools and got things prepped for the week because, you know, when you're getting the kitchen remodeled, you could be out. You could be completely out of your kitchen for, you know, some period of time. So that is a big deal. That is a great non-scale victory because she could have just said, forget it, kitchen's torn up, we're having pizza every night this week. That was an awesome one, Mary Ann. Tina had a big victory that did not involve the scale at all this week. She tracked for 5 days in a row. And Tina, I'm just wondering, so when I read your homework, it had been 5 days. So if you're here with us, did you go beyond the 5 days? So she tracked, at that point in time, she had tracked 5 days in a row, and she says that has not happened since early 2021. I don't know about you all, but all this COVID mess has really messed up my my tracking record. So Tina, that is fantastic that you were back on that. And then Barbara had a big NSV last month. She had some friends over to visit at her apartment, and the next day she threw out all of the leftover munchies. Okay, and so instead of saying, well, these were all left, you know, from the party and they're already paid for, instead of eating them, she threw them away. Whoa, way to go, Barbara. That was awesome. So congratulations, everybody. Who did your homework last week. Keep it coming because we do, all of us as a group love to read these and see, you know, what keeps everybody else going, you know, and what you could celebrate this week. So here are your extra Bravo stickers for doing your homework from last week. This week, we are talking about taming your to-do list. I'm just laughing. So you thought this chat was for you? You thought this week's chat was for you? I'm sure you all thought that it was for you. It's for me too. Okay, I wake up at least once every single night, sometimes multiple times a night, thinking of everything I didn't get done, who's going to be standing in front of my desk first, what phone call is going to be inevitable because I didn't get X, Y, or even come close to getting Z done every single night. So does it sound familiar? Does it sound familiar to anybody that you get to the end of the day and you need some more day because you didn't get everything done? Me, guilty as charged. So what do we do? What can we do? That's one of the areas that we've got to simplify. Have to. I mean, I'm going to go crazy. Yep, Sherry's raising her hand. I'm going to go crazy if I'm not already there. That's one area I've got to simplify. And we talk about this all the time. I mean, John and I talk about this all the time. I talk about this at work. You know, here at work, I've got to get a better, unknown person. I'm sure that that's so weird for somebody to be calling this late at night. I'm confident that either my car warranty is expiring or Google can't find me. Those are always the phone calls that we get late at night. But we've got to work on this. We've got to work on getting a handle on our to-do list, or, you know, whether it's Weight Watchers related or not, or we're going to go crazy. And if you go crazy, what do? If I'm going crazy, I'm eating. You know, this is the great fixer of all things, and it's a temporary fixer. You know what I mean? Like, it's temporary. It fixes it for like that long. And then I think, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. But that's a whole nother chat. Okay, so what do? The first thing that I've committed to is touch it once. And I've been working really, really, really hard on this. And if John can hear me right now, he knows what I'm talking about. If Kendall were here tonight, she would know what I was talking about. The girls that work here at Casey Kitchen Center know what I'm talking about. I am the world's worst. So again, I'm preaching to myself, not just to you, to touch something and then make a note of it, you know, whatever, and stick it in a stack and then touch it again. And then I forgot that it was there, so I'll make myself another note. And then I go back and back and back and back and back. And I touch the same things and the same folders and the same notes and the same whatever multiple times. Putting all of my to-do items in different spots, in different formats, with different methods. That's my number one problem. So I love to organize things, but I organize them to the point that sometimes I have them in so many different areas, in so many different forms, that I'll have the same to-do item in 3 or 4 different places. And then, and I have a spiral notebook that I carry around. I have Post-it notes. I've got a cork board. Y'all know how I love to put notes on a board, you know, and take the things down as I do them. So sometimes it's in the spiral bound notebook, and it's on the Post-it note, and it's on a note that I've written at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're everywhere. Literally everywhere. Some days I pick up and put down the same item multiple times because it's in so many different places. I gotta pick a spot for loose notes. You need to do this too. If you're like me and this is what you're doing, pick a spot for those loose notes. Pick a planner or a notebook for the items that you need to be able to carry around. And then one notebook, Kelly, just one. One notebook, one notepad, one journal, whatever you're going to call it. One. Okay? And I'm talking to you, Kelly. So touch it once. Figure out a way to only touch it one time, not multiple times. I figured out how many hours I was wasting, or actually one of the guys that works for us, touching things multiple times, touching the same things multiple times. He was probably wasting about an hour a day of his time and about 30 minutes a day of my time touching the same things over and over and over again. So touch it once. Figure out a way to touch it once. The next thing is to be ruthless. I found a great article on Zapier.com. It's Zapier.com, and that'll be linked in the notes when Jessica posts those later this week. That article says that to be truly in control of your to-do list, you must be ruthless in prioritizing your to-do items. John and I used to work with a guy who sort of was talking about this, in a roundabout way, but the way he went about it actually took more time to get organized than just to do it. I highly recommend that you read this article when you, highly recommend that you put reading this article on your to-do list, the one that I just said to prioritize. But the first item that was on there, I think is going to be a game changer for me on this. Just take an honest look at each item and then decide each item that's on your to-do list. So pick up the item that's on your to-do list, because it might be a Post-it note from somebody else. It might be a phone message. I was afraid of this with the runny nose. Hold please, while I sip on some water. So each item as you get it, whether it is a note from a coworker, if it is a note from your child. I cannot believe I'm going to start coughing. I'm so sorry. Oh, I hate it when I do this. Excuse me for just a moment. Sorry, excuse me. So as you get those items, goodness, take an honest look at them. Okay, y'all entertain yourselves for just a second. I will be right back. I am coming back. I'll be right back. Woo. I hate it when that happens. Okay. Yeah, and I took a sip of water, Deanna, and it just made it worse. Okay. So as you get those notes, however it comes, if it's an email, if it's a text message, if it's a paper note, whatever, stop and decide right now. So take just a moment, just breathe for a second, and decide right now, are you going to do it? So, or do, and just write do on there. So I have one here that I wrote do on. So decide, are you going to do it? If you're going to do it, if it can be completed right now, or if it's that urgent, like if you can get it done in under 2 minutes, go ahead and put it in your do stack. I'm not talking in 10 minutes or 10 days or, whatever. If you can do it right now, write do on it. Or are you going to defer? And defer, I've got defer on one of these, and I'll show you all these in just a second. You don't have to see what my notes are, but defer if it's something that you need to do it. It's your thing to do, but you don't have to do it right now. Then you can put that in a defer stack. So if the task is going to take longer than 2 minutes, or maybe you can do it this afternoon, or it doesn't have to be done right now. It's still important, but it doesn't have to be done right now. You can put that in the defer stack, or you can delegate. I decided this one I could delegate. So if it's something that you don't have to do, that one's tough for me, okay? So you're going to have to just write delegate on it if somebody else can take care of this for you. And take the to-do item that you wrote delegate on and hand it to someone else, okay? So hand it to somebody else and back away. So just hand it to them, set it down, back away. Don't over-explain it. Don't think you have to show them how to do it. Just set it down. Don't pick it back up. So don't say, I'm going to delegate this to you, and then go, oh, you know what? I'll just do that myself. Don't do it. So delegate. Set it down. Give it to them. Don't over-explain it. Walk away. And then the last one is delete. So if it's something that you really shouldn't be doing anyway, hello, Orlando Debbie. If it's something you really shouldn't be doing anyway, delete it. Just get rid of it. So really quickly, because I'm going to run into our chat time, y'all know how much I love my little notes. So I took my little to-do notes for today because I always have a ton of stuff to do on Sundays because I didn't get it done during the rest of the week. And I took all of them, and before I put them up on my cork board, I wrote do. And on the do one, I wrote urgent. Do, urgent. Delegate. Going to give that one to somebody else. Hello, Roberta. Defer. That can wait, a day or two. Do. This one's got to be done. It's got to be me that does it. Do, urgent. So anyway, so I wrote notes on this. So when I get up there to my cork board, I can put them where they need to go. So that's do, defer, delegate, and delete. And then the last thing is raise your hand. This one I've been working on. I've been practicing this one. So every time I pick up one of these to-do, so like this one, every time I pick up a to-do, like I'm getting ready to do it, whether it's placing an order, answering a customer's question, sticking my lunch in the microwave, anything like that, there's always someone standing there, or the phone will start ringing to fill in that 3 seconds of space. Always. And it feels rude at first, and I've been practicing it, but here lately I've been raising my hand when they walk up. So when I've picked the first thing up, I'll pick the next item up that says do, and I'm going to do it. And they walk up and say, oh, hey, by the way, I need such and such and whatever. So I have started raising my hand. I'm not doing this, but I have started raising my hand and saying, kind of like a teacher, and saying, I need you to hold on for a second. It's going to take me about 5 minutes to finish this, and I need to finish this first. You can either come back and find me, you can wait, or I'll come find you. But I'm gonna finish this first, and then I promise, I'm gonna write a note that you need to see me, and then return your call or whatever, and then I promise that you can ask your question, or pass that phone call to me. But you're gonna have to give me 5, 10, whatever, 3 minutes, whatever it is. Just since I started doing it, probably 20% of the thought they had to ask me questions have just gone away. They've just dissipated. They've taken care of themselves. So I'm liking it. And, so most of the time they're done when I circle back. So your homework, since this month we're talking about simplifying things, everything's going to be simply something. So this week for your homework, it is hashtag simply tame it, SIMPLYTAMEIT. So hashtag simply tame it. And this week I want you to write down one to-do item, no matter what it is. And it doesn't have to be weight related. It doesn't have to be Weight Watchers related. It doesn't have to be work related. Just one to-do item. And it could be as simple as your grocery list, as writing a grocery list. And it could be as complex as make and pre-point a menu for the entire week. So whatever that to-do list item is. And then I want you to tell us if you're going to do it, defer it. So are you personally going to do it? Are you going to defer it? You're still going to do it, but you can put it off. It doesn't have to be done right now. Are you going to delegate it? Are you going to have somebody else do it? Or are you just going to delete it? You're going to say, you know what? They didn't need to be done anyway. And just delete it and get rid of it. So it's hashtag simply tame it. And then we're talking about taming your schedule, now taming your to-do list. So hashtag simply tame it. Tag me in all the things. Do your homework, do your homework, do your homework. So that's the first thing on your to-do list, is to do your homework. And you need to put on there do or defer. You don't have to do it right now. And thank you, Lynn, for posting that. You don't have to do it right now. You could defer it if you need to do something else, like finishing watching the chat or prepping for dinner or whatever. But don't you dare delegate it or delete it, okay? I'm just kidding. Okay, So tag me, tag me, tag me. So we're at the halfway point in our chat that I have coughed through. And yeah, thanks, Dragweed. Gotta start putting a reminder. That's on my to-do list. Put a reminder on my phone for mid-August to start taking my Zyrtec early. So if you're new, at the halfway point, we go at, yep, and Sandra's right on time. At the halfway point, we're gonna go ahead and get some water. So I want everybody to get a sip of water while I get a sip of water, and try not to start sneezing. So everybody get a sip of water. Also, how stinking cute is this? Casey made, she's making Halloween and fall themed coffee cozies. I don't know what she calls them, but this one's a candy corn. So since I'm not going to spend the points on candy corn, I got one of these to go on my, it's great if you have a hot beverage to keep from burning your hands, but if you have something that's cold, like with ice or whatever, it actually helps to keep it cold a little bit longer. And it's so cute. Okay, I'm also going to go ahead and put on the apron because we are making something tonight. If you are new, these chats are 1 hour long, and the first 30 minutes of the chat is always classroom about whatever the WW topic was for the week before. So the first half of the chat is always that. The second half of the chat is hopefully something that y'all think is fun. Sometimes it involves cooking. Tonight it does involve some cooking. I have pre-made most of the things though, just because we didn't need to run over the 30 minutes, and just in case I started coughing. But we are continuing with our theme from the last couple of weeks about hashtag bulking it up. So if you've been with us any length of time, you know that I used to have a little sign, and I swear, I think it was just like a little 2-sided piece of scrap paper that I wrote on, and I think I had it stapled to a straw so that I could pick it up, and just turn it around, and it said hashtag bulk it up. That was one of the very first hashtags that I did when we started doing this a few years ago. But hashtag bulk it up was just my reminder, and I used to keep it in a pen holder. So like a little pen, it was a cup that I kept pens and things in near where I was cooking, where I was journaling, things like that, just to remind me, oh, you know what? Don't just eat that little, whatever. Well, thank you, Vicki. Don't just eat that little whatever, go ahead and bulk it up, because I eat with my eyes. I mean, I love the taste of things, but Sylvia's old. Sylvia's been around a long time because she remembers that. But I eat with my eyes. Like, I want to see a lot of something. So even if the lot of something isn't really, that much food, I don't know. I just like to see a lot. So I definitely eat with my eyes. So the hashtag bulk it up for me is about making a bigger presentation just to make it look like I have more food. It is, oh yeah, Sherry's got to get rid of the grandkids so they can make it to school tomorrow. Good night, Sherry. But it's about making a bigger, and Kim does too. Yep, Kim's been around a long time too. It's about making a bigger presentation for me. It's about filling myself up. They're usually higher fiber food, so it does help to fill you up, so you get full faster. And so this, if it's a big salad or whatever, it just looks like more food, and it does, fill me up. They usually contain more. It usually contains more water, so that's another way to get some good hydration going. Usually things that are going to help you go potty, and we do have chats for that. If you need any help with constipation, we do have that. Oh yeah, okay. Vicky's got to have quantity and quality. There are some things that now I try to choose quality, but I'm an all about quantity girl. Or I have been in the past. You could give me a big thing of bad fries, and I would eat it over a teeny tiny thing of really good fries. Okay, I'm learning to not do that. And now if you hashtag bulk it up with the right things, you get to add back points. So if you're brand new to the Weight Watchers Personal Points Program and you did not know that, you didn't know that you could add back points, that is whether I use them or not. And some of you all don't use them, and I do not use mine every day. And I try to use them on food. I try not to use them on like a bag of Skittles or something. But I love adding back points. So I think it's so fun to watch the points add back. You you get down to like 0 for the day or -3 or whatever, and then eat a big salad, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 you know, you're back to 0 or like +1, like you've got an extra point left. But anyway, so it just, I don't know, it does a lot of things if you can, you know, if you can hashtag bulk it up, you know, some of your meals. So last week we did hashtag bulk it up breakfast. Hello, Julie. Yep, they just finished their dinner. And I'm sure it was yummy. Everything you make looks yummy and sounds yummy. But last week we hashtag bulk it up. We did a breakfast bowl. Okay, Vicky, that's perfect. Vicky uses her extra points for extra salad dressing. Perfect. That is a perfect use of your extra points. The week before that, we did Taco Tuesday. This week, we're doing some meal prep. So I called it's called hashtag bulk it up meal prep edition. This is not just about meal prep. It's meal prep and also some of the shop your pantry things that we did this summer. And so I'm using some things that I found in the freezer. I'm using some things that we had left over. I'm using some of the last of some of the veggies out of the garden. So this is kind of a combo thing: shopping your pantry, not being wasteful, and oh gosh, what was I going to say? And yeah. Oh, and meal prepping. Yeah. So this is going to make my meals. Now, y'all know I won't end up eating this every day. I will not end up eating this every day this week. So I don't. Yeah, Julie bulked up her dinner with lots of broccoli. That is awesome. So I'm going to make a lot of food. I'll probably eat it tomorrow, and I'll probably eat it the next day. But y'all know me. When I prep, I'll eat it for a couple of days, and then I got to move on to something else. So that's where the super cubes are going to come in handy. When we get done tonight, I'll be freezing some of these in the 2-cup. This is a 2-cup super cubes, and I'll keep them here in the freezer at Casey Kitchen Center while I'm at work, so that, you know, here in a week or two, whatever, and I'll think, oh, I want to circle back around to that and have that, you know, to eat. Same theory applies as the last 2 weeks. So the first thing I'm going to have you all do. Oh no, yeah, John's still not feeling very good. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, John. I'll see you in a little bit. See you in a little while. Okay, the first thing is pick a protein, and I can't believe it. I did not bring my protein out. I'm going off camera again. What is this? This is the second time that I have walked off on you all tonight. Hold on just a minute. So obviously, I needed to put this on my to-do list. So, first thing is pick a protein. I still had plenty of the Gardein. I didn't thaw it out. Nothing like being live and letting y'all watch this. Okay, so pick a protein. So I'm gonna pick the Gardein meatless crumbles again. You can pick whatever brand you want to. Both is pretty good for the meatless crumbles. The Trader Joe's meatless crumbles are actually pretty good. I like them a lot. Sorry while I hack into this. It would have been great if I could have let it thaw out just a little bit. We don't need much for tonight's presentation, and I can always heat up some more. But so the first thing is pick a protein. I am picking this. I already had it. Didn't have to buy it. Got it out of the freezer. I'm just going to heat it up just a tiny bit in the microwave. So this protein is, let me find it here, 17 grams. So there's 17 grams of protein in 3/4 of a cup. I'm going to heat this up real quick in the microwave. Okay. So that's my protein. You could use chicken. You could use beef. You could use beans as your protein if you wanted to. You could use tofu. Didn't want to freak anybody out by using any tofu. But this is the Gardein brand plant-based ground beef, B-E-F. You can use it for tacos, shepherd's pie, bolognese. Every family favorite starts with the perfect ground. But it has 17 grams of protein. It's gluten-free. It's delicious. It does feel like ground beef. So I'm going to use that as my protein. So the first thing is pick a protein, just like the last 2 weeks. Okay. And you can see that it looks just like ground beef. I think it was two for me. 2 points. Carol Lou wanted to know how many points. I think it was 2 for me. Okay, then I want you to pick a carb. The carb that I'm going to pick this week, and we're going to start assembling all of this in a bowl. The carb that I'm going to pick this week is not 0 points for me. So the last 2 weeks, when I picked a carb, I picked something that was 0 points. Like 2 weeks ago, I think I picked, what did I pick 2 weeks ago? Beans, maybe? No, what was it? Beans and corn. I picked beans and corn 2 weeks ago because those were 0 points for me. Last week I picked potatoes because I had switched from, Carol, I had switched from beans and corn. I had switched to potatoes being a 0 point food. This week my carb is not 0 points for me. So, and it's not even whole wheat or, anything like that. This is real, not whole wheat pasta. So my carb this week is going to be pasta. You could do something, and you don't have to make the same thing I'm making, but my carb this week is going to be not 0 points to me pasta. And this is just a spiral pasta that I get at Trader Joe's. It's 4 points for, I believe, a half a cup. So this week I decided not to let the carb be one of my 0 point foods. Okay, so there is my carb. And again, if you want to pick something that's already 0 points for you, that's fine. I decided not to. So there is some not 0 point for me carbs. Okay, then the next thing you're going to do is pick 2 0 point foods. So one of my 0 point foods is also going to be one of my non-starchy vegetables. So I'm going to pull out something and see if you all know what this is before I break it out. Who knows what that is? Who can tell me? We still got like 16 minutes, so y'all have a chance to guess, but who can tell me what that is? That was fun spinning around there. Okay, come on. No guesses. Yes, exactly. Marianne finally guessed. So, yeah, y'all must be on a 2-second delay. So, Marianne guessed correctly. It is spaghetti squash. So, this is spaghetti squash cooked in the air fryer. And you cook this on 360 for 30 minutes. That's exactly right, Joni. So it's 360 for 30 minutes. You're going to cut it in half. If it's easier for you to microwave it for a couple of minutes first, just to soften it up enough to cut, you can do that. But then once you do that, scoop the seeds out of the middle. So after you've cooked it on, you're going to cut it in half, put it face down in the, you're going to put it face down in your air fryer. If you need to bake it, you're going to have to look for directions somewhere else because I only know how to make it in the air fryer. But once you've done that, and whoops, I accidentally left a couple of seeds in here. I will tell you the air fried spaghetti squash seeds are also delicious. So I'm not going to get rid of those. But once you air fry the spaghetti squash, and again, it's 360 degrees for 30 minutes, 360 degrees for 30 minutes. Check it at 25. Once you do that, you'll never go back to any other way of making spaghetti squash. And there is already a chat for this. I forgot to write it down. So sorry, maybe Jessica will find it. But there is a chat for this. And there's also just a YouTube video on just how to do this. So if you go to youtube.com and search If You Have an Egg, you will find this YouTube video that shows you exactly what to do, like start to finish. So once you've done that, once you've cooked it, just use a fork. And when you use the fork, you're going to shred it like that. And I know like Julie eats a lot of, Julie, isn't it you that eats a lot of spaghetti squash? Pretty sure it is you. People who do use it as spaghetti, you can eat it by itself. Spaghetti squash, here, I'll eat a little bite for you. It's got like a nutty flavor. I love it just with some, like toss it with some Parmesan cheese or some nutritional yeast or something. It's great by itself. I love the flavored spaghetti squash. It's one of those easy to hide vegetables. Like if you've got picky eaters in your family, and if they're the ones that are like, no, I see a pea, you know, or something, this is easy to hide. So spaghetti squash is easy to hide on that. So we're going to pick, so the next thing was we picked a protein, then we were going to pick a carb, which we already did, and then we were going to pick 2 0-point foods. The first one is this spaghetti squash. So I'm going to put this spaghetti squash in here. Okay, yeah, and Julie said, yep, we're having it tomorrow with my husband's marinara and her chicken breast meatballs. Julie said chicken breast? I'm just kidding. That's an inside joke. Okay, so one of my 0-point foods is going to be the spaghetti squash. Okay, and the other 0-point food that I'm going to use is I had some yellow squash left from the garden, and then I had some mushrooms left from last week. So I'm going to add those. So I've got mushrooms and spaghetti. I've got mushrooms and yellow squash, leftover yellow squash. So remember, I'm still going to make y'all keep talking about not wasting things. So that was the last of a couple of things, you know, out of the garden. So now we've got our carb is regular pasta. So pick a protein. I've got in this cup. I'm going to finish that here in a second. And that is the Gardein meatless crumbles. Pick a carb, regular pasta in the bottom of the bowl. Pick 2 0-point foods. The 0-point foods I'm using tonight are spaghetti squash, mushrooms, and yellow squash. I actually picked 3. Then you're going to pick 2 cups of non-starchy vegetables. Okay, that is so that you can add back some points. But you're going to pick 2 cups of non-starchy vegetables, and I'll show you what I'm choosing for that here in just a second. But I want to show you one more thing that I'm going to do with this. I had put marinara. I had leftover marinara, and I had put it in the half cup super cubes months ago. It just says 2022 on the bag. And then after you freeze them in the super cubes, and remember the super cube affiliate program, pretty please, when Jessica posts this, if you all wouldn't mind to you know, use that link if you're going to order anything. But these were super cubes, and sorry, I left them out and put them back in, so they got a little bit of ice crystals on them. But that is just marinara. That's literally just marinara that I had left over from one day. And it sounds like Julie's gonna have that opportunity when they when they make theirs tomorrow night. Froze it in the super cubes, have had it in the freezer. I've been digging out of it. Vicky, actually super cube. Okay, so Vicky wants to know if super cubes stain with tomato products. I've not had that problem because I clean it out as soon as I get it out. But Super Cubes posted, and I shared it on Facebook. They had posted how to get, like, if you got any stains or smells, in there, because it's silicone, how to get that out. And it was interesting. We'll have to go back and talk about that in a few minutes. But I'm putting 2 of those marinara in there with that meat sauce. Okay. And I just put those in a big mug so that it would be easier to, pour that out. So a quick review of where we're at so far. Regular pasta. You can use whole wheat pasta. You could use all vegetables. You could use some other kind of, hello Barbara. You could use some other kind of, if you wanted to use like spiralized vegetables, you could do that. You do not have to use any pasta. But so far I have regular pasta. So it's just regular, not even whole wheat pasta. Then I have a spaghetti squash. And you can see I still have a ton of spaghetti squash left. And I accidentally left some of the seeds in there. Like 4 seeds. But they were pretty good. I ate one of them earlier. Let me see. I may actually have to roast some of these because they were pretty good. They taste just like the spaghetti squash. Pretty darn good. But you can see one spaghetti squash, and this wasn't a huge one. One spaghetti squash is probably going to make, let me see, if I had to guess, that's probably, with what I already have in there, like 5 cups maybe. Julie, have you ever measured it to see how many cups of spaghetti squash you get out of like one average sized one? I'm gonna guess this is probably at least 5 cups. And spaghetti squash is considered a non-starchy vegetable. So far we've got regular pasta. Then we have the spaghetti squash. And again, the spaghetti squash, there is a YouTube video, just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg, and then find the spaghetti squash tutorial on how to do that. But it's 300, so you're going to slice it in half, and then you're going to lightly spray the back of it just so it doesn't get burned in the air fryer. Put it or scoop out the seeds. You're going to want to scoop out the seeds and put them in something else. You could save them. Yeah, okay, so Julie hasn't measured how many cups, but she bought a smaller one for the 3 of them, and it makes a ton. She's exactly right. It makes a ton of spaghetti. But then it's cut side down after you've scooped the seeds out, and it's 360 degrees for 30 minutes. It's so easy, and it's funny, when I went back and looked at the recipe, it even says this is so easy it shouldn't even really be a recipe, because it literally says cut the spaghetti squash, scoop out the seeds, turn them upside down, spritz the back of them, 360 degrees, 30 minutes in the air fryer, boom, 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 and you're done. Okay, so we've got that. Then we've got some mushrooms and some yellow squash that I had the yellow squash left over out of the garden, and yes, Vicki, I lightly spray the back of it, just of the spaghetti squash, just to keep it from burning. You do not have to spray the inside of it. We're gonna let that heat for just a little bit longer. So on the mushrooms and on the yellow squash, oh, Southern California, it's raining and they have thunder, Julie says, and she said that never happens. You know, it happens here all the time. Like, this is only the second week in weeks that we haven't had thunder and rain during a chat. Well, congratulations, Julie. But the mushrooms and the yellow squash, literally just sliced them, put them in the bottom of the air fryer, spritzed them with some olive oil, just some olive oil spray in my Evo sprayer, just spritzed them with some olive oil spray, put a little bit of nutritional yeast on there, and I think I did like 300 degrees for maybe 10 or 12 minutes to make the mushrooms and the yellow squash, because it didn't need to be in there for very long. And then I'm waiting for that to heat up so that I can show you the piece de resistance. We only have like 6 minutes, but I want to show you what I'm so excited about eating for lunch tomorrow and getting put into my super cubes. Okay, so again, marinara sauce that I had left over. Oh, and Barbara's got rain, but no thunder yet. Okay, so I had marinara sauce that I had put into the half-cup super cubes and had those in the freezer. Okay, and to that, oh, it's so garlicky. I completely forgot that I had added garlic to this marinara sauce. It smells so good. So, oh man. So that was marinara sauce that I had left over, and I had added garlic to it, and now it's got the meat sauce in there, and now suddenly Dusty's head is up. So, and he's licking his lips. So he can smell this. All of a sudden, he's very invested in what we're doing all of a sudden. So we've got pick a protein, the Gardein meat, then we have pick a carb, and the carb is regular pasta, and pick two 0-point foods. That was the spaghetti squash, the mushrooms, and the yellow squash, even though that's 3 0-point foods. And now pick 2 cups of non-starchy vegetables. So the marinara sauce, I think the marinara sauce was like 1 point for a half a cup, if I remember correctly. And I just realized I didn't write that on the bag. That would have been a great thing to write on the bag. But to this, because these were the last 2 that I had left out of the garden, I'm going to add 2 slices of end of season tomatoes. So y'all know how much I love my mom's end of season tomatoes recipe. That is already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and you just use, you know, tomatoes from the end of the season. So now I have actually ended up with remember I can lick my fingers because it's just me eating this. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got like 4 cups. Now I'm not going to eat this whole thing, okay? But I have like 4 cups of non-starchy vegetables. So guess what? The pasta just went away. The pasta that I put in here, that was 4 points worth of pasta that I put in here. It's 0 points now because I just negated all of the points with all of these yummy vegetables. So a little bit of marinara sauce with some garlic in it, some Gardein beefless crumbles. You can use any kind of meat. You can use tofu. You don't have to have anything. And yeah, Vicki, I know the way it smells, I probably could eat all of it right now, but that is the perfect way to hashtag bulk it up. Look at this. This isn't even one of my half bowls. I went ahead and used a giant bowl because I'm going to mix all of this together before I put some of it in the super cubes. So I'm going to get all of this mixed together, get it all prepped and put into my super cubes. I'm going to have some of this for dinner tomorrow night. I don't know. I may go ahead and eat some of it tonight. But go ahead and, you know, put it in the super cubes, get that in the freezer so that I've got it for, you know, for a couple of lunches next week. But that is a perfect and simple way to hashtag bulk it up. Take what would have been, you know, a little dinky meal and make it into something fantastic, and it's delicious, and look how pretty that is for your eyes. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm going to go ahead and get all this cleaned up, but if you are watching this on YouTube, I hope you'll just let that next video roll over. I promise you'll enjoy it, and go ahead and click subscribe. I would really appreciate it if we get, you know, a few more subscribers on here because it just helps everybody. You know, and we've had quite a few new people who found us through YouTube. So yay! So we've got some new people to our group that found us through YouTube. But let's see. And Vicki, a serving size is whatever you want it to be. If you wanted this to be a serving size, so Vicki asked what a serving size would be. Literally, if you wanted that to be a serving size, I've got this back down to 3 or 4 points now. If you wanted this huge bowl, is that not crazy? Because of all the vegetables that I added. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed, and you know, share with a friend, let somebody know. And if you make something like this, let me know. I'd love to know what you make with it. I'd love to know how you hashtag bulk it up. So y'all have a great week. I had another good time, and yay, I've got food prep for at least a couple of days. So y'all have a great evening and an even better week, and I will see you next time. Good night.